before.
All right, good morning, guys.
Be ready for vacation.
Huh?
Better be ready for vacation.
So what was our conversation about yesterday?
Intersections.
Intersections? What were our key takeaways for a couple of those intersections? We had 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yep. Scan your area.
Scan your area.
Cover your brakes, drop 10 before you're at the intersections.
That's consistent with all the intersections,
Yep.
right? Okay. Whether it's controlled or not. How about for like a level 3, what was our takeaway on level 3? What can we do to make it less?
Try to square off on the intersection.
Try to square off, okay.
Or reroute.
Or reroute, very good. All right. So today we're gonna cover a ops liability that we had yesterday. I'll give you a little bit of a layout of what happened first off. So driver pulls up to the site and the order that he usually does the containers is messed up, so it's a routine breaker right away because he's got recyclable material all over the place in between containers and stuff, which it usually isn't at this site, which is strange in itself. So he proceeds to start servicing the containers in the reverse order. So that's routine breaker number 1, right? Goes along and continues to service these containers, and he's at the second to the last container. There's a fence along the south side, and he's working his way to the south. So he goes to back out of the second to the last container and starts to turn towards that fixed object to back up. When he sees a glare in his mirror, basically, and thought that there was a vehicle that was pulling in behind him. So he kind of fixated over in the right mirror and didn't stop completely and drug his tailgate against this fence that's over on the south side. So, what are some things that we could have done differently to make sure this didn't happen?
When in doubt, check it out.
So, making sure you come to a complete stop, right?
Yeah.
So, from now on, I want this to be as clear as possible. If we have a routine breaker, I don't just want you stepping on the brake. I want the parking brake set, and I want you taking a few seconds to think about what's going on.
Stop and assess the
Yeah.
situation.
By stopping, I mean actually set the parking brake. Put it in neutral, set the parking brake. Take the time that you need to reassess it. Because he didn't even know he was still rolling backwards because he was more fixated on that mirror, looking to see if someone was behind him. Okay. How about with fixed objects? It's part of Rule 4.4, which is backing in the rules book. But fixed objects, what are we supposed to do with them?
Know where they are.
Know where they are, yeah. You do that initial site assessment and you
Yep.
drive in, right?
Know your surroundings. In my case, no, I didn't see it. Get out and look.
Yep.
If you don't see it. A lot of blind spots on those trucks.
And that's another thing that it says in 4.4 as well, is remembering where the blind spots are on the truck. Because you might have a camera in the center of the back, and you might have your convex mirrors and your regular side mirrors, but there still are gonna be some blind spots. It's, no matter what you think, there is a blind spot there, especially when you have, and I forgot to mention also, he's backing to the east, so he has the sun in his mirrors as well.
Yep.
Okay?
Depending on the time of day.
So that's another thing. You have the sun glaring in your eyes. You can't see. It's a bigger blind spot because you got shadows on that side because the sun is coming up in the east and shining across. So the worst thing did not happen. But all of those things played into something that could have been a bad scenario. If there would have been someone back there instead of the fence. Derek, do you have anything to say?
He's pretty much covered it.
I don't want to point you out, but at the same time, I want you to think about it and actually share what you learned about it.
Just don't say the first thing you said when you know it, you realize it.
But that's the first thing that did come to mind when I seen that I hit it. Well, the next time, make sure I do actually completely stop.
Yeah.
At least there was a fence and not a car.
Yeah.
Or a person.
Or a person, yeah.
Cause early morning up there, sometimes there usually is somebody dropping off there, cause you got the city grass dumpsters behind you. There's, right after it happened, before I called you, there was 2 people that did end up eventually coming in and dumping their grass, so I was sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah,
So I was glad there was nobody else in there.
yeah.
And like me with the sign, I had to move out of the way, but a lot of those places, if you hit something, don't even move your vehicle, just leave it there.
Yeah.
Don't even move it.
Yeah, you better off.
Because if somebody else is a witness and say, you did this, maybe you didn't do it, how do you know?
Yeah,
It's your word against theirs.
yeah. So what's the takeaway today, guys?
Backing,
Backing?
you know where you're backing.
Who thinks that backing is a boring safety topic?
We all do, but it's, well, all of them are boring, but we need them because it's gonna save your life.
How many incidents do we have that are backing?
All of
A
them.
lot.
Pretty much
Pretty much every one of the ones that we've had this year.
Or back.
So no matter how boring you think it is, we need to get out of the boring state of mind. We need to get to the point where we listen to it, we take something away from it, and we actually put it into play. That's what I mean by it. If you think it's just a boring topic, you're not gonna get anything out of it. Okay? Look at everyone.
Have them do my road.
Yeah.
1 week the container's here,
Where?
the next week the container's over here. The farmer keeps moving them around and it's like, oh shit, you know. Well, it was here, now it's over here. Then the following week it might be over there. It's never the same. So mine's never boring, mine's just pick and choose where the hell he's gonna put it.
Yeah. So we have resetting, right? How are we gonna reset from now on?
Stop.
Pull the brake. Set the brake.
Set the parking brake, stop all the way, put it in neutral. What are we gonna do with fixed objects?
Not hit 'em.
What's that?
Not hit 'em.
Not hit them, that's a good start.
Oh, when you pull in, see where they're at.
See where they're at, okay? And another thing with that, back away from them. If you're backing out of a container, especially a front load container, back straight up and then make your approach coming forward. That's gonna save you a lot of heartache if you can't see in your mirrors.
That's pretty much what you have to do at Kmart.
Yep.
You back away from it and then you turn over and straighten out to the next one.
It's another bad place, people come shooting behind you.
Whipping
So,
around
yeah.
that building.
Any other key takeaways though? We're kind of running out of time here, but
Don't be complacent when you're back.
don't be complacent when you're back. Another good takeaway. So let's be safe. Have a good day. Remember when in doubt? Yes.